Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Luening, Horst Luening. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we have an experiment. Well, we would like to know how high the level inside a non-transparent whiskey bottle is. Imagine this would be an opaque, non-transparent whiskey bottle, and you don't know how full it is. How to determine the level of the liquid in the bottle? Well, why? There are bottles out on the market which are not from glass but from stoneware. One of the most famous of those bottles is the Wedgwood decanter from Glenfiddich. It's a light blue with white ornaments on it from the English Wedgwood Ware company. And this went bankrupt in 2000 something and was taken over from a French one, I think. Yeah. This stoneware was used in the Stone Age. They invented to burn the clay from which they formed their pots and carafes. And we today still have this stoneware in use for special purposes, perhaps or probably for fruit in rum. You have this stoneware, you put the rum in, you put the fruits in, and then the alcohol evaporates through the porous walls of this stoneware. And this brings advantages in the taste of the fruit in rum, otherwise it would be too alcoholic. Or if you have this Irish stew. You have a stew pot, and with a stew pot from stoneware, you have also the transfer of the water through the porous walls. But if you use such a stoneware for a whiskey, you have a problem. You have an evaporation, like inside of the casks, which you do not want to have in a finished bottle. Out of this reason, they have some coating for this porous stoneware, and this coating is made a glaze, an enamel. In former times, they invented the porcelain. This was invented in China between the 6th and 9th century, and it took a while until it was invented in the Western world as well. I think it was 1709 in Meissen, in Eastern Germany. And this porcelain, there you have this kaolin in it, more than 50%, and then you get this glass structure from the porcelain, and then it's tight. The bottle is tight. A porcelain bottle is tight, but it's very expensive. So you typically take the stoneware and put a glaze on it. The Wedgwood, which started operations in 1759 in England, they put the glaze inside and not on the outside, so it's still this porous feeling on the outside. There are some bottles from Beaumont out on the market. They have been 22, 25, 30 years old, and Dragon Series and Moonlight and whatever. They were also from, I think, stoneware, probably a better stoneware than the very old one, but they had to have an enamel on it, a glaze. And, nobody's perfect, and it's a lot of artisan work. So there are glazes which aren't that tight as they should be. And there had been some bottles on the market which fell empty. It was evaporation through, somewhere the coating wasn't that tight so that the alcohol could evaporate. It's very bad. If you have a bottle in your collection and intend to sell it, and then you sell it and very light. So it is a good idea to control how full such a opaque, non-transparent bottle is. Yeah, or you're going to a dealer, you're on the other side of the deal, you're going to a dealer and you don't know how long this bottle is already resting on that shelf. And you can measure it, shake it to hear the liquid, but you can't definitely tell how full this bottle is. And you might get 20-30% less than you thought. Well, you could, if there are two bottles, you could weight them, put them on a scale and look which one's the heavier, and you take that one. But typically there's just one bottle there and you have no idea how the tera weight of that bottle is. So you can't figure out by weight how full that bottle is. And with the Beaumont decanters or carafes, there was a specialty. There are 0.7 liter bottles for the European market and 0.75 liter bottles for the US market. And they had just one type of carafe, and the European bottles were filled less, 0.05 liters less than the US bottles. And so a lot of people thought, oh, they are evaporated a lot, they are bad ones. No, they weren't filled that high as the US bottles were. Opening the bottle, well, if the bottle is already open, you can pour it out and put it into a measure and look how much is in. But be very, very careful. If you pour this liquid out, you might get air bubbles in it, and the oxygen inside these air bubbles will oxidize the whiskey, and well, that's not good on the long run. So if you pour it out, do it very, very carefully, or take a glass stick to measure the height of the liquid in the bottle. Yeah. Today I show you a different approach. Here we have a bottle. I put it in the fridge. It was 7 degrees centigrade. And I just took it out just before this video. And this is a Glengrant from 1962. I'm happy to have that. And if this bottle would be a stoneware, I would have no idea how full the bottle still is. So I put it in the fridge, and in the air we have humidity, water vapor, and if this water vapor or the air becomes cold, then small drops condense inside the air. You can see that outside when the air is rising. Then you have the cloud cover on top, and there is a definite layer where the water in the air is condensing, and upon this layer you have clouds, and below no clouds. So you have a condensation of the air humidity if the air is cooling. And this effect of condensation we use for looking for the filling of the bottle, because the whiskey inside the bottle is 7 degrees centigrade cold, and through the glass or the stoneware, the outside will get cooler, well, after some minutes. And on this cool outside, the air will, or the water vapor from the air will condense and will show very, very small drops. And above the liquid, the level of liquid, there will be no condensation, and below you will see a condensation. And now it's, well, yeah, it started to condense. And here you can see there's condensation below and shiny, glossy above. I can put my finger on here and you see the stripe of my finger. So this is the chance to find out how full the bottle is, but there's a flaw, as always. Be very, very careful if you clean the water from the outside of the bottle, because you might harm the label. So on this, here we have already it's loosening there. So be very, very careful, because when the labels are getting wet, then you might harm them. So this is the chance to find out how full a non-transparent bottle of whiskey is. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, there's more to come. And if we have questions like this one, please feel free to ask them on Whisky.com with a hashtag Whisky.com. I will search for that and will from time to time answer your questions. Thank you very much.